So, can I start? Okay.
Yeah, who is recording you?
I am
All right.
Adam Bengawi.
And please, can everybody pay attention? Thank you. Yes.
This is my presentation, my country project on South Korea. That is South Korea. The geography: South Korea covers over 38,000 square miles. This makes it slightly larger than the U.S. state of Indiana. It borders North Korea at the 38th parallel, and 65% of territory is forested. 20% is suitable for cultivation, and the east has hills and mountains, and the west-south has plains. The climate temperature is very humid. Family life and roles. Traditional Korean families live with members of the extended family with a strong sense of obligation among its members. Often perceived as a burden, the oldest son traditionally looks after the well-being of his parents after they become too old to take care of themselves. The father is the head of the family and is treated with the greatest respect, followed by the oldest son. Traditional Korean families have the men as the primary providers, with women being responsible for the supervision of household duties and raising of the children. Most children enjoy Taekwondo, and most men have experience with it from 2 years of required service in the military. As a older and traditional style Korean family, and this is a modern aged Korean family. The education is deeply respected in South Korean culture and is considered a virtue of Confucianism and a philosophy that permeates Korean society. Education is seen as a key to success, respect, and power. Advanced education is 2 to 4 years. Course subjects include Korean, English, and mathematics. The subject of the university's entrance exam. Less emphasis is placed on art, music, and physical education. To enter university, students must pass exponentially competitive and demand entrance exams. This is the demographics of South Korea. Population is roughly 48 million, roughly 49 million. 82% of the population lives in urban areas. Seoul is the capital and the largest city. 99% of the population is on Korea's descent, while 2% of the population has foreign citizenship. 99% of males are literate, 97% of females are literate. Life expectancy of males is 76 years old and 82-year-old for females. Hanja is the Korean language with Chinese influence. Koreans had to read and write in Hanja, so King Sejong the Great made Hangul an official written language. Economics. The currency is the won. In the late 1990s, a large budget deficit, political scandals and bankruptcies and foreign competition, all these factors made South Korea vulnerable to the economic crisis that passed through Asia. Since they have had a heavy dependence on international trade, the economy became vulnerable to worldwide and regional downturns. 7% of South Koreans' labor forces are in agriculture and lives in rural villages, cultivating small plots for collective farms. 25% of labor forces work in industries, mainly mining and manufacturing. Major industries include textiles, clothing, chemicals, steels, electronics, and automobiles. That is the currency, and those are the important people of South Korea's history. Korea versus American. Government: South Korea's president is Moon Jae-in. Government is divided into executive, judicial, and legislative, just like America. Careful systems of checks and balances. Always had a president system with a relatively independent chief executive. This closely relates to America, how we have America is split like Korea in 3 branches also: judicial, legislative, and executive. We also have checks and balances, and we also have a presidential system. America is different by the voting age, because in America you're able to vote at 18, but in Korea you're only allowed to vote at 19. And the economy, money Koreans use won while the U.S. uses U.S. dollars. One U.S. dollar is roughly 0.00093. One won is roughly 0.00093 U.S. dollars. Korea's annual GDP is 1.4 million roughly, and per capita is 27,000. America is roughly 19 million, and their GDP is 59,000. So we do have a lot more, but we are like 20 times the size of Korea, if not more. The U.S. debt is 19 million. Well, almost 20 million in 1 year, while Korea's is 564,000. South Korea uses a market economy, and America runs on a mixed economic system. This is a mix of elements of both free markets and planned economic control by government. South Korea is 13.6% higher cost of living compared to America, although rent is 37% lower in America. Is lower in Korea than America. South Korean men must serve a 2-year mandatory term. That is not excusable unless you have certain reasons. So, like, if you're famous or have done something for your country, then you are excluded from that. Most children enjoy Taekwondo, and most men have experience from it from the 2 years, and they do teach Taekwondo through the middle schools, high schools, and it is their national sport, so it's like football for us. You could get scholarships to colleges, high schools, and stuff like that. They spend roughly 40 billion on their military. Consumer prices, United States is 12% lower than South Korea. Consumer prices including rent, it's higher. And these are just like the normal things that you would have to purchase that are higher and lower. Korea's home one of the great brands of, they're home to some of the great brands of Hyundai, Samsung, and Kia. Hyundai being a wide-known vehicle, and Samsung being a phone company that is across the world. We spend roughly 610 billion on our military. America does not force citizens to be in the military. People serve the country and choose to. We only issued a draft once and it was banned. America is one of the military superpowers in the world. We have the Navy, Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps, all in the branches of the military. And that is the car manufacturers. So for like a small country, they do have a lot of like money and brands that's like things that like surprise me, to have such a small country like the size of Indiana to be thriving as well as they do. They are, I think, ranked 17th happiest country in the world, and we are like just a little above them. Things I learned: South Korea runs on nuclear and coal-fired power generators to keep the country running, but the president would like to start going towards renewable things and natural gas. I also found out that South Korea's national sport is Taekwondo. Mostly all kids join Taekwondo for many years. Also, big cities in South Korea are almost always full. Almost all restaurants would deliver food to your door at any time. So it could be like 4 a.m., you could order a fried chicken. Also, only 3.2% of Koreans are overweight compared to 32.2% of Americans. And that is the flag. And then it is, yeah, so. Back to the project. Oh no, it is top 10, and it's top 5 in economic growth. So actually, you could say South Korea is advancing quicker and faster and like better than America at this time. And that is it.
Thank you.